the right time from your vantage point to start thinking about having a competitive edge? When should I design this?
Every It's too late if you're not doing it. You got to get on with it. First thing, connect with the customer digitally, get the data, ask the right question, use the data for analytics, measure your competitive advantage. And are you creating value better for customer, better for shareholder than your competitor? If not, go to work. Because the speed is running very fast.
I'm curious. So when you are consulting these executives of large companies about transformation, what are some of their fears? Uh,
Yeah, first thing I want you to know, Vishal, I don't use the word transformation. I said throw it out. It's a buzzword. You're at 100,000 feet, it doesn't do anything good.
Interesting.
Let's talk about how do you create value for the customer and create market value for the shareholder. Let's work backwards. And then say, what's your goal for market cap, revenues, margins, cash, etc. And then we say, if it is a little bit better than last year, you're not the right CEO. Market won't accept that. So we go to the customer and we see what is their need, what's changed, what's not changed, who's coming in, and how do we create what is more useful to the customer, and work backwards, and then say, if we collect this one first as a data, get continuous engagement, get additional sources of revenues, we go. Or as Larson and Toubro did in the supply chain. Or Walmart doing it now. You know that they're not only in retail, they're going into advertising, they're going into healthcare. Very nice. They're just coming to the party a little late, but it's not too late. And they will be number two of the.
And what are some of the struggles a leader are pitching you or are sharing that what are some of the struggles they are having?
Struggle. Number one is to get the small team in the top that's fully aligned. If they can't, they got to change people. Second is struggle is to get the board aligned, have the board understood when they go for ask for appropriation for capital expenditures. And third, they got to be extremely good communicators. But one thing is not negotiable, and that is a great competence in Jeff Bezos. Maniacal focus on the customer need. Customer faster, better, cheaper, convenient. Many times has been opposed by his people. He wants to give the delivery in one day. It costs too much. He overrules them because he has a strategy. He just bought MGM for roughly little less than 9 billion. He's going to give that free to Prime. You have 150 million people in Prime. Competition can't do that. Now, people love it. He increased the fee from $9.99 to $13.99. He can go to $14.99. That's $12 a year. At 150 million, that's a ton of money. And that is more than the interest he has to pay on the 8.9 billion he gave. So it's this new model of business. Have the people focus on the new model of business and new strategy. Let the technology people do the machine learning engines. It's no different than you build a plant and you contract the building of the plant to somebody.
That's a fair point.
You build a house.
So I
Mhm.
let's spend few minutes on your book, by the way, and by the way, fascinating read. So if I was curious, so when I was reading this book, so the title says rethinking competitive advantage. I was curious, what is the rethink? Like, what is the focus on rethinking? Like, what? How
Rethinking,
frequently?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Rethinking part is that first unlearn what you have done about competitive advantage, because that was a static environment relatively to the speed today. That was a mass approach. It's not personalized approach. These two things are the most important thing. Third thing is the technology change is huge and very fast. Therefore, you have to be flexible. That's why this thing got going. And then we say that here I show you in the book how to create 10 times the market value. I give you tools how to do that because that's what Amazon has done that. That's what Adobe has done that. And they were small companies. They were nothing. Why can't you do that? Here are the tools. See them, experiment them, do the pilots, and then you scale up the pilot. Software helps you scale the pilots very fast with the exponential increase in gross margin. So
Interesting.
I take you through that because everything I write and talk, it has to be useful to the practitioners. You can apply them Monday morning. And everything I've written has been tested somewhere by somebody, by some practitioner.
Interesting. So I was reading somewhere about that you should focus on money making model, not a business model. I wonder
Correct.
I wonder what's the difference.
Yes. You see, business model has been interpreted in many ways. Some people call business model change in organization structure. Some people call business model just changing the financial side of the business. Money making model is the word used by every street hawker, every corner store. How your business makes money, how you get revenues from where, what's the gross margin, how you generate cash, how do you reduce cost. This is the money making model. So in the case of Amazon, he initially started with a very simple rule. I will not sell anything overall basis that has less than 20% gross margin. He stuck to that. Today's gross margin is 40.
Hmm.
Walmart is around 26. And then you generated cash. He needed some money in the third year. He raised it. After that, he didn't have to raise any cash. So this is the trader's thinking. For 100,000 years, people have been doing that. It's now scaled up using machine learning computers. But the fundamentals. So I wrote a book what CEO wants you to know to show how a corner store person uses exactly same
Hmm.
terminology what Jack Welch was using in GE. Difference, scale, complexity, scope, gap accounting. But he was able to reduce that to the same thing when he did this decision. I sat with him.
Hmm.
He simplified all that correctly. I said, we're going to do this. Sam Walton taught him also. He came to the meeting I was in. He showed that the flywheel concept was first developed by Sam Walton.
Hmm.
It's in my book, What CEO Wants You to Know. And then Jeff Bezos took that scale, used machine learning, and fantastic job. So
Interesting.
money making. So I simplified the word business model, no ambiguity. How does your business make money? How is it different from somebody? How does it deliver value to the customer? And how does it deliver value to the shareholder? And if you can share options with all of your employees, it will deliver wealth to your employees as well.